And here we are, guys. Valguero is officially here. And guys, I am so excited to check out this map with you guys today. Now, today, guys, this video is all about checking out the map, giving my first impressions, and straight away, wow, just look at that background for a second. Now, mind you, guys, just so you're aware, we are currently playing here on the Xbox Series X. Taking a look around here straight away, I am really excited, really blown away, honestly. If you guys are curious, I spawned here in the small islands. I think what we'll do is we'll jump into GCM mode and kind of fly around the map here and just see what we can get ourselves into. So let's just get kind of straight up in the air just to give us a little bit of a full 360 of what's going on here. So if you guys are curious, I spawned here in the small islands region. Now, I will admit, this is brand new. I do not remember this on ASE. You guys can certainly let me know if I'm wrong, but I believe the small islands kind of connected to another group of small islands, right? But besides that, just kind of taking a full 360 here, and I'll make sure to do this a little bit slowly too. Wow. First impression straight away, this looks amazing. This looks really, really good, and I think you guys could tell by my voice that I am really excited to check out this map with you guys today. Now, before we get into this, I do just want to mention, again, this is more of just a map reveal, taking a look around the map, the whole nine. You will see a couple of videos coming out on the channel, like possibly taking a look at the Elder Claw and looking at the Mega Raptor and checking out the bosses and everything. But don't worry, guys, starting next week, we will officially jump the Forever Ark series into Valguero, so definitely stay tuned for that. But getting started here, first thing I want to check out is this, because of course, we all love brand new shiny things, and just having a castle straight away here, right in the starter area, is really, really cool, honestly. And it's a relatively big area. Look at this. Okay. Really, really nice. I think this is going to be a lot of people's, especially on single player, this is certainly going to be a great starter location. You know, you have, this is really cool. Guys, I think you can tell by my voice, I am really, really excited because me personally, and I've talked about this on the channel before, Valguero for me was at a really interesting time. When the original Valguero came out, that is actually when I started playing Ark. So it's a bit of an interesting time for me, but on top of that, I never really played Valguero too much back in ASE, so for me, although I'm familiar with the map, this is also a bit of a newer experience for me, so I'm certainly excited to throw the main series onto this map and see what we can do, but this is, oh man, this is really cool, and I think it's probably better to just go into GCM, kind of fly around so we can get around a little bit quicker. But yeah, you have all these pathways and stuff to discover and all that. Now, my biggest question is, did they set this up? And I am experiencing a little bit of lag, but that's okay. Again, brand new map, those bugs and things hopefully will get fixed. This structure is interesting because it does have the, this is the, oh god, what is it called? This is the skin that we paid for, right? It's part of Bob's Tall Tales, I believe, right? The Scorched Earth, I think. My question is, though, with this kind of unique structure, did Wildcard allow us to just build in here? Or am I going to need foundations in order to build? I guess what we'll do is we'll make a bed. I also have a foundation, and we also have a storage box. So, of course, storage box, no problem. Perfect. Okay. Now, what about a bed? No. So, it does require placement. Okay. I will admit straight away, that's not that it's a bad thing. It's, I would have preferred to be able to have this similar to what we had on Fjordur in ASE, where we would have been able to just go ahead and start putting stuff down straight in here without foundation support. But I guess it is what it is. No big deal. You're just going to have to do your best to line everything up here. Drop the foundations as low as possible. Probably, if you wanted to build this up and make it look as realistic as possible, probably just go ahead and wait until you're in the stone tier in order to do this, just so it looks a little bit nicer, because right now that looks a little weird, if I'm going to be honest. But first impressions, again, that's a little bit of a miss right there, in my opinion. But overall, really cool area to start out with. And again, I really like that, again, the small islands area, I believe, again, in ASE, you kind of spawned over here. You also spawned over in this area here. I believe there used to be a little house or something here, but it looks like they took that out completely and just made this more of a flatter area. This is interesting. Okay. This little structure here is kind of interesting. I don't know why. This looks kind of cool. Put like a little thing up on here or something. But yeah, castle straight away, really, really cool. I think what we'll do is, I think we'll start by heading in this direction, because I'm going to be honest, I'm not too familiar what this area was on ASE. So let's see how far we can go. Where are we on the map? Okay. Okay. But yeah, look at all of this area. So this is kind of, I'm getting a little bit of like a redwoods vibe slash like a, maybe a tundra vibe or something. Oh my God, this goes all the way out here. And we got another castle over here. Oh, wow. Now, I do remember this castle on ASE. And by the way, apologies, guys. I'm trying to stay as organized as possible here. But let's go back to the original area just so I can give you coordinates and everything. So going back to the original area, if you want to check this place out, and of course, like I said, just spawn in the small islands. But if you guys are curious, this is at roughly 51 latitude, 37 longitude. Now, again, we're going to head straight over to that other point of interest, being the castle over here. Let's see, where the heck did it go? Castle. I feel like I'm a little too far in. I feel like it was maybe more in this direction. Castle. Perfect. Okay. Taking a look at this castle, I guess we'll kind of start at the main entrance. Yes, I am definitely getting Redwoods vibes, so definitely keep that in mind if you are checking out these areas. Might be a little dangerous with terror birds and stuff like that, but at least right now, this doesn't seem too bad here. All right, so going on up. This one is definitely, at least first impressions-wise, a little more in ruins in comparison to the previous one, but not necessarily a bad thing. The only gripe I've pretty much had when Wildcard does go ahead and put in these structures is the stairs. I don't know what it is about the stairs. Okay, this one's actually pretty good, but I don't know if you guys have ever noticed this, but going upstairs on these pre-made structures is like, it's really, really hard to do, it seems like. You seem to stutter and stuff. Doesn't seem the case on this one, which is really nice. This is more like a ramp, though, it kind of seems like. It does seem a little stairsy, but I would probably consider this more of a ramp if I'm going to be honest. But taking a look, you definitely have a lot of space to work with here. And again, coordinates for this, you're looking at 59 latitude, 10 longitude. You're kind of on the border between, it looks like the Redwoods and the kind of like a tundra-y kind of area over in that direction. I think we'll head over that way next. Now, it did look like that there was a structure. Yeah, there's a structure there. Now, how do you get to that? Looks like we have a path here. This is massive. This is really, really massive. Now, again, with this structure, same thing, I assume? Yes, okay. You can't place anything out here. You're going to have to put some kind of foundation support down in order to build whatever you want here, which is fine. It is what it is. But look at, oh my God, it goes further in. Another thing I'm noticing too is, and it could just be because my volume is actually pretty high, but I'm not hearing a lot of noises. Now, what the heck is this? Okay, this is cool. Just a little bit of ruins inside of the castle here, inside of the walls. That's kind of interesting. Maybe if you were making this a mega base, maybe you kind of fortify this up and this is where all your treasures and stuff are, or your valuable things. I don't know. Maybe you can even use this as a breeding area. Honestly, that would be kind of cool, right? Oh, man, so many ideas coming in my head right now, but this is cool. And I guess what we could do is we can kind of just take a look back here. But yeah, this kind of reminds me of the... Is it Lord of the Rings? They did something on Fjordur based on Lord of the Rings. This has a very similar look to it. Is it called Helm's Deep? I can't remember, guys. It's been so long since I've watched Lord of the Rings and everything. But overall, still a really cool point of interest. And again, this is at 6112. Now, in particular, I would probably do it as... I would start out in the small islands and eventually work myself up to taking this over. This would probably be like a final base, in my opinion. But, you know, do with what you choose. Looks like we're at the back of the map here, just based on looks and everything. Let's see. Yeah, I think we're about to hit the wall. No, I can go up here. Oh, there we go. Okay, I was going to say. I do feel like based on the textures and everything, probably the world really is supposed to end like here. But maybe that'll get all sorted and everything. I think what we'll do next is, I want to take a look at this area because this looks really, really unique. I love the water here. I think the water looks so cool. And by the way, let's go ahead and get ourselves like a spyglass or something just so we can kind of take a look at creatures from afar, see if we can spot some of the newer creatures and everything. Let's go ahead and kind of throw that into... I think I typically put it in this slot. That's A. No, I typically put it in B. Okay. Now, mind you guys, I do have mods with the Forever Ark series, so you may see a couple of modded dinos as we're kind of jumping around here, but yeah, just want to keep that in mind and everything. So, looking at this area, I love this area. Ooh, okay, so we got something over here that we'll take a look at. So many shiny things. Okay, so, yeah, definitely a bit of a tundra area here. We got wolves, we have calicos, we have mammoths, we have argents, and we have daedons. Yeah, so definitely a... Yeah, the water's... Everything's not really that loud. Okay, not sure if that's something on my end or maybe the map's end. Okay, that's kind of interesting. I love waterfalls. I think this is a pretty cool spot. Is that a structure that you can get inside, or is that... No, okay. By the way, again, I'll kind of keep putting up the map and everything if you guys want to check out these areas. Roughly 50 latitude, 10 longitude. Next area I want to check out is this little thing in here. What is this? So it's just kind of like a little cave that you can make it your home. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. All right. And this one, of course, this is roughly at 50, 10, like kind of what I said a few seconds ago. But... get back up in the air, just get an idea of what's going on in this area. But I really like just that combination of like the yellowy orange look with the really, really turquoisey blue water. Like, I think this looks so cool. This is one of my favorite areas so far. Honestly, just this looks... Doing my best to formulate sentences, guys. But I am really, really just like, look, that. Shiny things everywhere. Now, let's see here. I mean, it looks like there is a lot of flat spots. That's the first impression I'm getting about this area. So, this would be a pretty unique spot to build, in my opinion. Again, just kind of, just first impressions. I mean, just look at that view that you would get. Oh, man. Imagine starting out a video with this as your background. This looks great. Oh, man, I'm really excited to really dive into this map. What is this area considered? So it is considered a tundra. Okay, good to know. Good to know. By the way, kind of where we are on the map here, we're roughly 4210. So we are kind of heading towards a bit of the corner of the map. I remember this back in ASE. This is a relatively big waterfall that I believe also has, or at least it did, kind of a cave inside, right? Yes, it is. Okay. Still does. Cool. Oh. Whoa. Okay. This is definitely a point of interest. So, 33.9 is where we're looking right now. And is this going to take me down to... Oh, no. This is just an area you can build in. I do not remember the purple crystals in here. You guys will have to remind me if that was a thing on ASE, but I really genuinely feel like that was not a thing. Now, because there's the purple crystals... Oh, no, never mind. I was kind of wondering, like, okay, I think purple crystals, I think element, I think aberration. Maybe this was going to be a new entrance into aberration, but I don't think so. We'll take a look. Oh. Oh, where the heck does this go? All right, we are going on a bit of an exploration. I think I'm also going to go ahead and grab some scuba goggles. Come on, if I can type, please. There we go. We don't have to worry about oxygen since we're on GCM. Let's go ahead and put those on just to make it a little bit clearer. Okay, so basically going back to kind of where we were, there was that kind of main waterfall. We ended up down here, and here we go. Wow. This is massive. Whatever this area is, this is massive. We got a couple of ammonites down here. I apologize that it's still a little tougher to see in here. Now, what is this area? This is the Abyss. So if you guys are familiar with the Abyss on ASE, well, now you know what it looks like in ASA. I am not familiar with the Abyss. What is that? Oh, that's a modded creature. I was wondering. I'm like, what the heck is that? Okay. I mean, this goes even deep. Whoa. Whoa. You guys will have to let me know if this is a new area or not, because this is crazy. Now it's just a matter of figuring out how the heck do we get out of here now that I've got myself all turned around and everything. Okay, so this might be a way out, so I'm just going to kind of backtrack this way a little bit just to keep taking a look around here. I wonder if this is just the underwater area that you had access to in ASE. I feel like it is. This is massive. I feel like this is a lot bigger than what it was on ASE. What is that? Is that an Arkalon? It is an Arkalon, a 140 Arkalon. Of course it is. Okay. All right. Abyss, really cool. I feel like this is a way that you can... Where was that path that I was looking? Okay, yeah. I think this is a way you can go out. So let's go this way and see where this ends up leading us. Look at this long... Oh, my gosh. You'll need a lot of scuba to be able to check out this area. This is a little crazy. Oh, man. Is there a way to get... Okay, so there is... Whoa! Okay, so now we're near the White Cliffs. Okay, so that is a massive, massive underwater area. We can go ahead and take the scuba off now. That's fine. Come on, take the mask off. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and take a look at the White Cliffs. Why can I not take this off? Why is it not letting me? Okay, it's fine. I guess we're keeping them on. It's cool. All right, so I guess we'll go ahead and take a look at the White Cliffs. Nice. Okay, it doesn't look First impressions wise, and I know I'm kind of scanning it relatively quickly here, but first impressions doesn't look too much different from what I remember in ASE. The one thing I remember in ASE is, wasn't it extremely... Oh my god, it looks so funny that we're wearing the scuba. Wasn't this a little bit greener, a little bit brighter? It seems to be, in my opinion, a little more subdued with the colors, but I could be completely wrong about that. You guys will have to let me know, especially console players. If you're playing on the Xbox Series X, kind of let me know what your experience with ASE versus ASA is. But of course, we do have the brand new creatures, the Deinonychus. Oh man, really excited to check them out and everything. And if I remember, I'll see if I can do... Oh, the babies, that's right. I'll see if I can remember to do a tutorial on how you have to get them. Now, look at this. This area has changed. I definitely remember this area, but I don't remember it having the element-infused concept behind it. But I really like that. I really do. I think it just gives it a really nice tone and color, and yeah, no, I'm definitely digging this area. This area, if you're interested in checking this out, this is at 80 latitude, 67 longitude. Now, getting back up in the air here, yeah, that looks really, really cool. But yeah, we got more white cliffs. I'm trying to remember what else there is out here. Again, white cliffs, another area that you're going to have a lot of flat land to build in. There is another point of interest over here. I do remember these back in ASE. This was kind of this ruins area. I believe this was also in the trailer, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, it looks like they've added a little more on from my recollection. But you guys can let me know if this is all the same or not. I don't remember the statues, and I don't remember this building. Is that a jerboa? Oh, that's cool. We have jerboas here. Okay. Now, with these ruins and everything, again, it's just going to be like all the other ones, so I'm not necessarily going to test it, but yeah, first impressions of this spot, really, really cool. Really cool. Okay. Now, I guess what we'll do is, we've kind of checked out the white cliffs here. I think what we'll do is we'll head towards the jungle area, because I feel like... And by the way, wasn't there an artifact up here? I thought on one of these cliffs there was an artifact, but maybe not. Okay, that's fine. Anyways. Wasn't there inside of the... Yes, okay, so the structure is still here. Interesting, okay. This structure I definitely remember from ASE. If you guys are curious on checking out this area, 38 latitude, 92 longitude. Okay. Entrance here. All right. It does look a little... It looks very similar to what I remember in ASE, so we're not really going to walk around this one too much. I don't really notice too much of a difference, but yeah, overall, it's a pretty big square castle, if you will. Again, same rules are going to apply with this one. I can only assume that you will need, you need ground or a snap point support. Okay, that's fine. But yeah, again, if you want to check out this one for yourself, looking at 3790 roughly. We're at 89.9. Now, couple more areas of interest. There is another place here in the jungle that can take you down to the aberration zone, I believe, right? There it is. Okay, so I guess what we'll do is we'll jump into the aberration zone now and have a fly around there. If you guys are interested in this location, this is at 32 latitude, 92 longitude. I believe there's multiple entrances to aberration, if I recall correctly, but this one is kind of a little bit of a multi-waterfall effect into Aberration. Now, from what I remember with ASE, Aberration felt a little empty, in my opinion, from what I remember. Oh, wow. Okay. This might be a little more than I remember already. What is the path? Okay, so you come out here. Oh, okay. Again, we are playing here on single player, guys, so it may look like the areas are a bit dead. Again, it's just being on single player. It takes a while for these spawns to come in, which is why I kind of want to do a fly around the maps and everything. Makes it a little bit safer for us to check out, too, if I'm going to be honest. Yeah, this looks actually a lot bigger than I remember. But I believe, and I definitely want to be able to confirm this with you guys here today, the trailer had rock drakes, which I don't remember being a thing. And I think I just went the... Oh, no, this is a completely different path. Interesting. Okay. But I definitely want to confirm that here with you guys today to see if rock drakes are actually a thing on this map. Would be very interesting. That would also tell me that this underground area is extremely expanded. But it's just a matter of hopefully not getting lost and figuring out where this is. But in my opinion, at least just from flying around here, this almost seems to be the size of Aberration on Aberration. Like, this seems to be relatively big. Oh, yeah, look at this. Okay, so we're getting to element-infused area. I do believe there was a bit of an element-infused area, though, on ASE, from what I remember. Okay. This is... Oh, there we go. Okay. Whoa, okay. I was going to say, that looked a little dead. It looked a little interesting. Okay, nothing over here. I guess we'll head in this direction and see. Not exactly sure. This seems to be leading us up, though. It does. Okay, so this is the other entrance. 3858. And this will put us out over here. Okay. I'm a little intrigued because it does seem like that this would have been the area that the rock drakes would have been, right? Okay, so it looks like there's two different branches here right at the beginning. I'm getting a lot of lag here, so I'm curious. Is there something I'm missing here? It would be kind of cool if there was like a wall you had to break or something in order to get to the rock drake area or something. I think that would be really interesting, but not noticing anything straight away here. Yeah, not noticing anything straight away. But yeah, now we're back down into the Aberration area. And okay, so I feel like this is going to be one of those maps. Oh, we do have more crystals over here. So maybe we got something over here. Okay. All right. We may be getting into it over here then. Maybe not. It looks like it kind of ends right here. I think this is going to be one of those maps, guys. It's going to take a very long time to explore all this. Wow. Okay. All right. Very interesting. So, at least from first impressions, just flying around and everything, I don't see... Oh, well, okay. There's even more. Okay. I was going to say first impressions, not really finding a spot that you would potentially find rock drake nests. There we go. Okay. So we do have rock drake nests. It seems in this red zone area. Now, the good thing is... Oh, we certainly have Reapers. Okay, so Reapers is certainly a thing. One thing I do want to check out, though. Let me see if I can land here for a quick second. Okay, so there is radiation. Good to know. All right, gonna have a little bit of a squiggly screen here for a second, so we'll kind of wait this out and then we'll continue. But yeah, overall, even though we are here on single player and they haven't spawned in yet, I can only assume that this area here, being in the red zone area, is where we're going to see some rock drake eggs, just based on these structures and everything right here. So we'll have to see, of course, what happens. But if you guys are interested in checking this out, of course, you're going to have to jump down to the aberration, head to the red zone, and figure this all out. But roughly where we are right now, we're looking at 3562. But yeah, this looks nice. This looks really nice. I just want to see... Oh, there's a rock drake. All right. So, yep. This is where you need to... Is that a 170? Oh, my gosh. Okay. So, yeah. This is the area. And by the way... Is that an artifact? Oh, it is. If you guys were curious, this artifact is here. This is the artifact of the Gatekeeper, and you get the Scorched Spike skin. Interesting. Okay, well, I'm going to leave that there. But yeah, let's get out of the aberration area. Let's take a look at the surface a little bit more. Just a matter of figuring out how the heck to get out of here. All right, and there we go, officially out of the aberration area. But again, if you did want to check that out... Here is roughly where we're looking at one of the entrances. This is roughly 40 latitude, 58 longitude, right around there. I believe there's multiple entrances. Hopefully, as we're kind of going around, we'll see a couple of other ones. But straight away, this is something I see. And wow, looks really cool. Just a couple things that they've added here to this map that we haven't seen in ASE. I don't know. Really, really unique spot. If you guys are interested in checking this out, of course, 4858 is roughly where you're looking. Now, let's get back up in the air here. We are getting pretty close to nighttime. It looks like we have a structure out near Green Ob, which I don't necessarily remember this. You guys will have to let me know in the comments if this was here. I believe I remember a structure being here, maybe not by this extent, of course, but let's have a look and see what this is all about. This is really cool. It's almost like a coliseum in a sense. Not sure what you can do with this, but it's got a really nice view. Look at that. Wow. Oh, man, this map looks great, guys. All right. Anyways, if you want to take a look at this, 4067 is roughly where we're looking. And finally... let's go ahead and take a look at something really important here, in my opinion. It's over in the jungle. I have to remember the exact spot that it's in. Where is it exactly? Yep, here it is. Perfect. So, if you guys remember back on ASE, there was a particular spot on the map that they decided to make a bit of a shrine for those ARK players that have passed, and... well, let's take a look at it. If you guys are interested in checking out the spot, of course, we are looking at roughly 3487. I think we'll go ahead and kind of take a nice little walk up to this. What's really nice about this area, too, is not really a lot going on here creature-wise, so you don't really have a lot of distractions. But yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the little memorial that they've set up here. So we have right here... it's a little tough to see, but it says, for those who have ascended. And we got a Jerboa here. Looks like we have a... Let's go into first person. Oh, God, we have this on. Let's see if I can take that. It's not letting me take off the mask, so apologies for that, guys. For some reason, it's not allowing me to unequip, so we're just going to have to do it this way. Jerboa, we got an otter, we got a dodo, we got some boots, got a couple of pieces of armor and everything here. We got a Jerboa along with a compy. Sorry, that's a ferox along with a compy, and yeah, it's really nice that they did go ahead and do something like this. Now, I am seeing a little bit of a flashing. Now, is that because it's raining, or is that because we're wearing the scuba? I'm not entirely sure, but really nice that they did this memorial and everything. And then, of course, we have this red tree up here, and it is getting a little bit dark. I think I'm going to switch it over to day just so we can see everything a little bit clearer. Yeah, there we go. It's a little bit brighter now, so we can see this a little clearer. But really nice that they went ahead and did this memorial. And I do remember this being here on ASE, but it's nice that they went ahead and kept that around, especially for the ASA version here. But again, if you guys are interested in checking out the spot, kind of paying your respects on everything, this is at 3489 roughly, and it's got a really, really nice area around it, especially with the waterfalls and everything like that. They did a really, really good job for this area, so I definitely commend them for that. Now, a couple more points of interest. I do believe that there is a... Isn't there another jungle structure out here? I feel like there is, but I can't exactly remember. I know we already checked that one out. I think what we'll do is we'll head towards the redwoods now. We'll kind of circle everything about, since we've kind of looking at the map here, we kind of have went ahead and almost explored most of the regions. The only two that we're missing is the redwoods and the snow biome. So I think maybe we'll head up to the snow biome first just to cover that area, because it's not too expansive from what I remember. Now, of course, here in ASA, they might have done things a little bit differently here, and it might be a little more expansive, but let's have a quick look here. Again, in my opinion, with snow regions are just kind of one of those things for me where snow region is a snow region. Let's call it what it is. But I don't know, maybe they've done a couple of unique things here. I'm really interested to check this out. But having a quick look around here, nothing doesn't seem too different from what I remember in ASE. Where is the obelisk by any chance, just to kind of give us an idea? Okay, the Wyvern Trench. That's right. The Wyvern Trench is in the snow biome. Okay, so I guess we'll go ahead and take a quick look at this. Now, what's pretty unique about this is I believe here on Valguero you have both the Fire Wyverns and the Ice Wyverns, but no other variants, I believe. At least that's what we had in ASE. Seems to be kind of the same in ASA. What's really cool about this is the outer area is going to be your Ice Wyverns, I believe, and the inner areas, which we're about to experience here, is going to be your Fire Wyvern area, which is cool how they kind of separated the two and everything. I actually really like that. This is... Wow, okay, so this seems a little more expansive than what I remember. Wow, yeah, no, this is really bright. It's a little tough to see almost, but wow. Okay. But yeah, we got our couple of Fire Wyverns and everything going here. Now, what I did notice is, and I guess as we're kind of heading out of here, heading back into the Ice Wyvern area, which I don't believe we had on ASE. I think there's two entrances, which is kind of interesting, because I only remember having this area for the Fire Wyverns. But it seems like, and I could have this wrong, and it's a little upsetting that we do have pyromanes, if I'm going to be honest, but it is what it is, I guess. We're kind of past that point. That is a nice-looking pyromane, though, of course. We do have a path here. What does this path lead to? Is this path also going to lead to fire wyverns, or is this just kind of a path that takes you around? No, I think it's just a path that takes you around, yeah. There is a structure here. That's kind of interesting. Okay. But I did notice this. This is another entrance to, yeah, another area. Wow. Okay, so there are 2 entrances. It might end up being all the same place. I think it is. Okay, so I'm pretty sure it's all the same place. It's just different entrances. That's still cool, though. Okay. Yeah, really, really cool. Let's, yeah. Yep, that's exactly what it is. It's all the same cave, just 2 separate entrances. Okay, cool. Cool. All right, let's get out of here real quick, and I'll show off coordinates if you guys are interested. Got a lot of wyverns around us too right now. If you guys do want to check out the Wyvern Trench, you are looking at roughly 9 latitude, 76, 77 longitude, somewhere around there. Now, let's kind of continue over to the Blue Ob. And of course, guys, look, I'm not looking to do 100% map reveal and everything. There are some things that, of course, you'll have to find for yourself. But if there's anything notable that I completely forgot about, make sure to let everyone know down in the comments. But heading over to Blue Ob here, which this area kind of seems a little bit more redwoodsy / snowy, if that kind of makes sense. Not really sure. Okay, nope, that is a Uteranus. Not sure what the Megaraptors look like, so definitely trying to keep an eye out for them, but I doubt they're going to be in this area if I'm going to be honest. But Blue Ob here, I remember Blue Ob having some pretty interesting things, right? So we should have the polar bears on this map, very similar to... Yep, there is a polar bear right there, very similar to what we have on Ragnarok. But I always thought that there were structures or something in here. Maybe I'm getting this confused with Fjordur, maybe. But, okay, so Blue Ob is here. Blue Ob is at roughly 10 latitude, 19 longitude. But yeah, I gotta say, this is going to be a pretty expansive area to check out. I think overall, this map is going to be one of those that it is going to take a pretty long time, even though that is a Uteranus. Yeah, okay. I don't know why. For a second, it looked a little bit different than what I'm used to. This is definitely going to be one of those maps. It is going to take a really long time for everybody to explore every single nook and cranny of this map. This is really expansive. Very expansive. And I believe leaving the snow biome here, I believe we go back straight into the tundra area, which is what we checked a little bit earlier. So I think what we'll do is we'll kind of just cut across the map. We'll go ahead and take a look at each of the obelisks. So right here, Red Ob, we are looking at 74 latitude, 16 longitude. I believe this is going to be the Redwoods area of the map, if I'm not mistaken. I'll be honest, I'm not too familiar with the Redwoods and the Red Obelisk back in ASE, so I can't really compare the two or anything. Okay. There is the Megaraptor. Okay, it's swiping at an Achatina. Okay, so let's go into first person just so we can kind of get an idea. Oh, wow, look at that thing. That looks cool. Okay, I don't know how rare they're going to be. It does seem really interesting that... Ooh, okay, it just got some kind of ability. Yeah, look at the way that's... Oh, okay, that's interesting. Okay, definitely going to have to take a look at that creature at some point. But let's kind of just get ourselves up here for a second because I want to plop myself down, see if I can take this off. Yeah, it is not allowing me to take off the scuba. Yeah, even taking GCM off for some reason. Not sure what I did there, but that's okay. Redwoods-wise, again, I'm not too familiar with the Redwoods back on ASE, so I don't know necessarily what we're comparing to here, but kind of just flying straight up just to get an idea of the areas. We do have, I see some red, looks like trees right here. Looks like we got another waterfall. That's kind of cool. There is the spiders from what I remember, right? There's the broodmother area. Ooh, okay, so we have this. What is this? Is this another entrance to... No, it's not. Okay. Not sure what this area is alluding to. But if you guys need crystal in the Redwoods... check out 8418 is another spot to check out for that. But going back straight up. Oh yeah, no, see it like continues. Huh. Okay. I don't know, maybe there is something alluding to possibly having a way down to the aberration area over here. I don't know. Would be kind of cool if there was, but you guys will have to explore that and let me know. But then finally, where is the broodmother area? Definitely want to check that out. We have some structures here. Little bridge. Not seeing too much else, which is actually really surprising there. But that's still kind of cool. Got ourselves a nice little waterfall here and everything. Okay. But yeah, I will be honest, especially kind of doing an aerial view here in the Redwoods. Ooh, that might be it right there. I was going to say, it's a little bit tough to find these things. So this is not it. But this is still a pretty unique area, in my opinion. That's really cool, actually. This area is at 6841, and I'm just trying to take a look at the map here and see if maybe there's like an indicator or something, but I'm not seeing anything at the moment. But yeah, with the Redwoods being as thick and everything as they are, oh, this is new. This castle, I think, is new. Again, you guys will have to let me know. Oh, this is definitely new. I don't remember seeing these. Now, I remember seeing this castle in the trailer. I guess we'll kind of explore this on foot, too, if we can. Yeah, a lot of ruins and everything, but yeah, I really like this. If you guys are interested in checking out this spot, this is at roughly 7547. But yeah, another big castle to work with. Plus, looks like you're pretty high up too, so you don't necessarily have to worry about a lot of threats or anything. But I do like seeing that Wildcard seems to be putting in some of the different structures and different skins and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. It just adds a little bit more life into these castles and everything. So I certainly like that. All right, let's get back in the... Oh, God, I'm at the ceiling. Where is the broodmother? I guess... Taking a look at the map, we haven't been in this direction, so maybe we'll see the broodmother out here. But maybe that's going to have to be something that you guys are going to have to find on your own. All right, guys, so it took a little bit of searching, but I have found the Broodmother Cave. You are roughly looking at 7442. I will admit, going up in the air and everything, it is a little tough to see as you're flying around, but one of the most notable things, if you are looking around the area, is going to be the pink trees. I think that right when I saw that, I kind of knew, okay, I think I'm in the right area here, and sure enough, here we are. Taking a look at this, it looks like it goes pretty far down, if I'm gonna be honest. It also seems they've done a lot of work in here, in my opinion. But yeah, look at this. Oh, man. Not sure what level this Broodmother is. I think they can spawn at random levels, right? Doesn't even give us a level. Okay, so that's actually kind of interesting. Now, from what I remember back in ASE, weren't there 2 Broodmothers? Or was it just 1? Not entirely sure, but I guess what we'll do is we'll kind of take a look at the cave real quick, see if there's anything notably in here. I believe this is an artifact cave, if I'm not mistaken, and you do have to go through in order to get yourself an artifact, so I'm not going to go too much further here. Kind of interesting that in order to get a artifact, the first thing you'll have to do is take on a Broodmother. Now, from what I remember back in ASE, I don't think you really got anything from the Broodmother when killing it. I guess we'll find out right now. Where is the Broodmother? Here we go. Okay, so it is a level 50. Okay, it might just be random levels. All right, so when you kill the Broodmother, looks like you get a couple of items and everything, a couple of random things. You do get the hologram if you don't have it already, okay? Whether you've taken on the island bosses or not. And then finally, you'll also get the spider flag. So you won't get the element and stuff like that like you do get on the island, but you do get a little bit of loot. And if this is your first time taking on the Broodmother, you'll also get the flag. And yeah, you'll also get the hologram too, which is kind of cool. And of course, we contracted rabies. Of course we did. But yeah, guys, checking out the map and everything. Again, not going to show off all 100%. That is going to be up to you to check out the rest of the map. But overall, very impressed. Really excited to get our official series in this map. Check it on out. Get boots on the ground and build up and see how we do. But guys, definitely make sure to check out the channel. I will be putting out a couple of videos on checking out the new Mega Raptor, the Elder Claw, how to get Deinonychus eggs, a couple of other things along the way to get your Valguero adventure started. But that is going to wrap up this episode, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you all in the next one.